Did you know that the average project manager spends 15 hours per week in meetings, but 71% of those meetings are considered unproductive? Now, does this sound familiar? Joining a meeting or a call that you have absolutely no idea why you're even on it, or wasting 60, sometimes 90 minutes in meetings that could have been completed in just 15. Now, the good news is you are about to learn how this can all be a thing of the past. Over my 12 years of managing multi-million-dollar global projects for a multinational organization, I've discovered that meeting effectiveness and managing your time are the biggest predictors of project success. Oh, and enjoying your workday too. And after teaching over 13,000 project managers how they can leverage AI through my LinkedIn and personal training systems, I've seen firsthand how AI can transform meeting productivity. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can use AI to ensure that you only join the right meetings and can afford the same for others as well, and make sure that only the right stakeholders join your meetings. That you prepare bulletproof meeting agendas in minutes and not hours. How you can capture comprehensive meeting notes while staying fully present in the conversation at hand. And also how you can turn vague conversations into crystal clear action items that actually get done. But before we dive in, if you are tired of spending hours on meetings and even more time chasing down action items afterward, my AI for Project Management Blueprint is for you. Now, unlike generic ChatGPT tutorials, this system gives you my exact workflows, processes, prompts, and tools of choice that have saved me and my project teams thousands of hours. You can implement your first AI time-saving process within 5 minutes of enrolling. So if that does sound of interest, I'll leave a link in the description below for you to check out. But for now, let's dive into these powerful techniques that will transform your meetings forever. How many times have you sat in a meeting thinking, why am I even here? Or realised halfway through that a key decision maker is missing and that you're going to need to schedule another meeting anyway? Well, here is how you can solve these problems with AI. First, if you're invited to a meeting and aren't sure if you should attend, you can use this prompt. Based on this meeting agenda, and then you can simply paste it in, and my role as, and then put in your specific role to that project. It could just be project manager you put here. Analyze whether my attendance is essential by firstly identifying if decisions in my area of responsibility will be made. Secondly, determining if I'm providing unique expertise or updates that can't be provided in writing. Thirdly, assessing if I have approval authority needed during this meeting. And then fourthly, suggesting whether I could contribute outside of this meeting instead of attending. Provide a clear recommendation with rationale. Now you can put this prompt into ChatGPT or Claude or whatever LLM you're using. And then once you get the output back, you can follow it up with this prompt. Now write me a polite email to the meeting organizer, politely declining my participation. Now, of course, you may not need to do this, but it's very, very good in use cases where you shouldn't be attending for whatever reason. Now, on the flip side, when you're organizing a meeting, paste your draft agenda into this prompt. For this meeting agenda, and again, paste your created agenda, which we'll look at in the next point. Help me identify the optimal attendee list by firstly, categorizing required stakeholders via optional with reasons why. Secondly, identifying any missing roles or expertise needed for the decisions listed. Thirdly, suggesting stakeholders who could receive a summary instead of attending. And then fourthly, flagging any potential conflicts or politics I should consider when finalizing the invitee list. The second area where AI can dramatically improve your meetings is in the preparation of them. So here's a real example. I was leading a critical project review with stakeholders from 5 different departments. In the past, I'd have spent 2 to 3 hours speaking to different stakeholders, gathering updates, and even crafting the initial agenda. Nowadays, I use this simple AI prompt. Now, it looks overwhelming. There are 4 different components to be aware of. The first at the top here is the context about the project. Then there's the purpose of the meeting. Then there is my exact ask about what we're looking for in our agenda. And then the fourth is just some additional points that will help. So you will need to update this to meet your specific needs, but let me just run you through it very quickly. You are preparing for a critical quarterly review meeting for Project Horizon, a cloud migration initiative with a 2.4 million budget and June 2025 deadline, etc. The meeting will include 12 stakeholders, and I list those out. Now, the more information you can give here, the better. The purpose of this meeting is to assess current project health, address emerging risks, and make a decision about a potential 3-week timeline adjustment. Now, again, that will be completely specific to your requirements. As the project manager, you need to create a focused 45-minute agenda that efficiently gathers essential updates from the various departments, facilitates meaningful discussion of the 3 highest priority risks, and then list those out, guides stakeholders to a definitive decision on whether to adjust the timeline or maintain the original schedule with additional resources. Create a structured agenda with precise time boxes, specific questions to guide each topic, clear ownership of each section, and decision points that will drive the project forward. Include guidance on pre-reading materials stakeholders should review before the meeting. Now, this will be a very comprehensive agenda that it provides to you and will ensure that nothing gets overlooked. But here's the advanced technique. What you can then do from here is you can then use a follow-up prompt with the output that you get. Now provide preparation questions for each participant that you can send 48 hours ahead of the meeting. Now, the result of doing this will be that everyone will come prepared, discussions will be focused, and you should finish on time with all the key decisions being made. Now, if you're attending rather than running a meeting, you can use this prompt instead. Based on this meeting agenda, paste it in, help me prepare by identifying potential questions I might be asked about my area, my role, my expertise. Secondly, suggesting data points I should have ready. Thirdly, drafting concise updates on my workstream that address potential concerns. The third game changer is using AI during your meetings and shortly after to capture information without dividing your attention. If you're like most project managers, you're either frantically typing notes and missing important conversational cues, or you're fully engaged but miss capturing key details. Now, if you record your meetings with permission, you can use this prompt afterward. Analyze this meeting transcript and provide, firstly, a summary of key discussion points. Secondly, all decisions made. Thirdly, action items with responsible parties and deadlines. Fourthly, unresolved questions or concerns that need follow-up. And lastly, notable points of agreement or disagreement between participants. Now, if you have this prompt in mind and that you're going to use it, you can spend so much more of that meeting listening and focusing, knowing that AI is going to take care of this full process afterward. Now, here's a pro tip for you. For sensitive meetings where recording isn't appropriate, you can always take short bullet point notes as the conversation goes on and then expand them out immediately after the meeting using AI with a similar prompt. The fourth area where AI can transform your project meetings is in converting talk into action. Now, studies show that 70% of meeting action items are never completed. Why? Because they're poorly defined, inadequately communicated, or simply forgotten. Now, you can prevent all of these with AI, and this is how you solve these problems. So once the AI tool you're using has generated your meeting notes and action items, use this refinement prompt. For each action item identified, rewrite it to ensure it follows SMART criteria: specific, measurable, assignable, realistic, and time-bound. Flag any items that are vague or missing critical information. Now, let me show you a real example. The original action item from our meeting notes was team will investigate performance issues. Now, the AI transformed this into John and Sarah will identify the 3 most critical performance bottlenecks by analysing the response time logs and present recommendations at next Tuesday's meeting on May the 12th. But here is a really powerful technique. You can then use this follow-up prompt. Now write personalized follow-up messages for each team member that summarizes only the parts of the meeting relevant to them, highlights their specific action items with context, suggests the first step to make progress, and also connects their tasks to the overall project goals. Here's a bonus technique the top 1% of project managers use, the AI-powered meeting improvement loop. So after major meetings, you can ask AI to analyze patterns across your last 5 to 10 meetings, as an example, by comparing notes, participation, outcomes, and feedback. The prompt you can use is, based on these meeting summaries, identify common discussion bottlenecks, participants who may need more encouragement to contribute, topics that consistently take longer than allocated, and patterns in the types of decisions that get deferred. Now, of course, you do need to paste in your meeting summaries in order for this to work, but it's incredibly effective and has revealed invaluable insights about my meeting facilitation style and team dynamics that I would never have noticed otherwise. Let's be honest, meetings aren't going anywhere. Let's be honest, meetings aren't going away anytime soon. But with these AI techniques, they don't have to be the productivity killers they once were. Just imagine you're running meetings that start on time, end on time, and actually produce results. I've seen project managers transform their entire reputation within organizations just by implementing these meeting techniques. One student went from that PM who runs endless meetings to the new PM who respects my time in just a couple of weeks. So if you are ready to become known as the project manager whose meetings actually deliver, check out my AI for Project Management system in the description below. You'll get all the prompts we cover today, plus dozens more that will revolutionize not just your meetings, but your entire project management approach. Remember, in project management, your meetings are your signature. Make sure they deliver. And if you want to know some of the best use cases for ChatGPT in project management specifically, I suggest you watch this next video right here.